980 WCAP. Everybody gets it.
Good morning, listeners, and welcome back to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming of both RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs achieve even greater success by attracting, converting, and retaining their ideal customers and clients using various internet marketing techniques and methods. The purpose of this show is we have subject matter experts come on in the first two sections, and in the third section, if there's enough time, I will give out some tips. All these are designed to help you achieve even greater success because we all can learn from people who have already had success, and in that learning, whether they're a coach, a mentor, or somebody you're listening to, learning what they did to overcome some trial or tribulations can help you cut the learning curve and just get you from point A to point B even faster. And with that, we have a great guest coming up right now who is the author of Live Your Message with Marisa Murgatroyd. Marisa helps entrepreneurs create a business that is authentic and aligned with who they are to empower them to turn up the dial on their inner superhero so they can be the superhero to their tribe as well as in their own life. Her focus is on helping entrepreneurs become the most bold, colorful, vibrant expression of who they are online, because that's the only way to cut through the noise of a billion websites and actually be heard. Good morning.
Good morning, Ron.
And how are you today?
I am fabulous and looking forward to being here with your listeners.
Excellent. Thank you so much for blessing us with your expertise and skill set. Where are you calling in from?
Calling in from Los Angeles. I'm at the Sheraton Airport leading an event, so it's right before I go on stage. I'm excited to get to speak and then speak again.
Wow, excellent. And it's funny, my last guest, Melanie, you probably remember her too from JVX. She was just on a second ago too.
I heard her. She's a friend of mine.
Yep, nice. So this is the LA and East Coast connection today.
The LA ladies, right?
That's right. Good stuff. So you're, did I butcher your first name? I know it's Marisa, but it's pronounced like Teresa, not Marisa as in Marisa Tomei.
It's Marisa.
Marisa.
So Marisa Murgatroyd.
Yep.
Yes, Marisa Murgatroyd.
Yep.
You got it now.
Yep. And it's funny because you thought I'd have trouble with your last name, and looking at it, I kind of did, but once you spelt it out phonetically, Murgatroyd, I mean, wasn't that Heavens to Murgatroyd? When I was a kid growing up, wasn't that a something that was frequently? So as soon as you spelt it out phonetically for me, I had it, no problem.
You got it, right? The first name is a tricky one.
Yep, it was, because I was thinking of like Marisa Tomei and not in the Teresa sound like. But tell us, this is what you do is helping people be bold, colorful, and vibrant. That's nice. How do you help people? Tell us a little bit more about you and how you help business owners and entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. So I run a business called Live Your Message, and the basic idea behind Live Your Message is there are over 1.8 billion websites online and over 3 billion people online. And so what's happening is the market is getting more and more crowded and more saturated. So just going into business, you have to compete against a lot of people. So if you are not communicating in a way that's distinct from everybody else, you get lost in the noise. And people can't hear your message because we're bombarded with so many marketing messages every single day. So I help people distill down what they do, who they are, why they exist, and why it really matters into a handful of words that are capable of piercing through the noise.
I love it. Now, would you say that do you help them with like their content, their messaging, their thought process, or do you help them after that actually deliver it to the world?
Yeah, so first I help them really figure out their message, their positioning, and their overall branding. So who are they going to be in the marketplace? And then I help them translate that into their product offerings, their marketing, their web presence. So basically a lot of people may do some work around messaging and branding, but then when they start to create products or marketing or whatever it is, they don't really bring that all the way through.
I love it, and that is so important. And earlier in your bio that I read here, you talked about their tribe, so they can be a superhero to their tribe. For the listeners, a tribe is, when we talk about a tribe, it's like your social media following, your email list. Whoever is following you or interacting with you is, in the marketing sense, sometimes called a tribe.
Yeah, so sometimes you refer to it as your audience, and we like to refer to it as a tribe because it's the kind of people that shares beliefs. So a lot of people think their audience is simply people who want what they have to offer, but really the way that you portray yourself online and the way you portray how you're different from other people offering a similar service attracts a very specific kind of people. And when you make those strategic decisions about how you want to represent yourself and what you do, then you attract some people and not others. And what happens is many people end up communicating very professionally or formally in business, and they sound like everybody else. But what happens when you sound like everybody else is you don't stand out. You don't get noticed because you're saying the same thing in the same way as everyone else and getting lost in the noise. So you have to be willing to repel people in order to attract others. And what happens is so many people want to be liked and they want to play it safe in their business communications that they end up getting lost with everybody else with a plain vanilla message. So being able to kind of amplify what it is that you're saying is a little bit more daring, but good marketing repels as much as it attracts. So you're saying, I'm not for those people over there, but I'm for these people. One of the best companies in the world who's done that is Apple. So remember the old commercials of I'm a Mac and I'm a PC?
Yes.
Yeah, so pretty much you're doing the same thing. Your business is this, it's not this.
Right.
And to be able to do that effectively, you can create a fan base that's going to love you and adore you and buy every single product that you offer.
Yep, and I love that mindset. And I don't think that you're really alienating people. What I think it is you're pre-qualifying people. So when you can cut out the people who your message and your services, your products or your services aren't really for, you really are now fine-tuning who your audience or your tribe is, and you're building much more of a rapport. So I think it's more of a case of, I just pulled a blank, but a case of pre-qualifying people.
Absolutely, and the pre-qualification goes beyond just speaking to people who need what you have to offer. So a lot of people think it's just about finding the people who need what you have, but as the market gets more and more sophisticated, the reason people choose to buy changes. It's not just based on you being able to give them what they need, but it's based on an emotional connection. It's based on the stories you tell. It's based on your personality and the personality of your business or company as a whole, and the way you show up through your marketing, because people have a lot of options, so they're going to choose one that feels good to them, not just one that's going to give them what they want and need.
I love it. And in my business with the online marketing, the digital marketing, what you're talking about is so paramount, because you're right. You might have 15 different insurance people selling the same type of insurance, or you're another real estate agent, or you're another digital marketer, or you're another content creator, whatever the case may be. If you can't effectively and efficiently convey your USP, your unique selling proposition, or your IP to who you are and why they should hire you, or at least consider you in conjunction with or over other people in the same space, you're right. How do you cut through all the noise? So that is paramount.
Absolutely. One of the things that I like to compare it to is, do you know those little P-Touch labeling machines where you print out labels and put it all over stuff? You know those things?
Yep.
So what I like to say is what happens to most people is that our brains are this incredible pattern recognition device where we're bombarded by so many messages that we've gotten very good at interpreting things, new ideas, new opportunities very quickly. So what we do is we print out these little labels basically from our head, and we stick it on people and businesses and companies offering stuff. Oh, that company is like this company. This company is like that company. And basically, when you allow yourself to be labeled by someone because you say something that resembles what everybody else is saying, they label you and they file you away, and they never pick you out again. But instead of having the P-Touch, that's basically you've been P-Touched. Instead of being P-Touched, you can have the Midas touch by creating a label for yourself before they can label you that defies easy categorization. So they still get what you do, but you're creating curiosity. It's the difference between pull marketing, where you're pulling people in, and push marketing, where you're shoving a message on them, where you get them asking you questions, tell me more. And so how do you do that? Asking you what I call the money questions. rather than you just kind of turning them off because they think they know what you're about before you've really had a chance to explain.
I love it, and that too is how we operate on the attraction marketing. You want to attract people, so they're asking you more questions. What's it like to work with you? I'm telling you, I'm sitting here. I'm actually not sitting here. I'm standing up. You can't see me, but I've got an ear-to-ear smile. I love what you're saying, and it's so true. And so many people in marketing really need to hear it. Even people who are providing marketing services, they're just parroting whatever people send them, and then they're just pushing it out, and they're not taking into account what you and I are both discussing right now. So it really, I think, it sets not just the client, our clients, and the business owners apart from other business owners, but other marketers, internet marketers, content providers, email, whoever it is, whatever they're doing, when they come from that mindset, I think that is a USP. That separates you from the crowd as well.
Absolutely. Even in politics, they say the person who owns the language is going to win the debate and ultimately the election. The idea is to frame the language on your terms, not necessarily the market terms, while still speaking directly to the need, the want, the desire, the problem, so people can still recognize it as their own.
I love it. And I'm just going to leave the politics out. But because that's
Yes.
such a divisive stuff. But I agree with you. No matter what it is, if you're giving a presentation, if you're in a room and you're trying to sell your product or service to people at a company level, whatever the case may be, and some of this stuff actually crosses over into our personal lives too, and we can have a better personal life when we, interpret these things. And I like to tell my clients, marketing isn't something that you do to someone; it is something that you do for them. It's not to them; it's for them. So you're there to help them, not hurt them. So I love it. Now, if somebody's just starting out, certainly they should call someone like you or I, but you kind of like get them at the foundation, and I kind of like pump it out. So I think you and I should definitely set a time to talk, because I think we're excellent JV partners. But if somebody wanted to start with you, or let's say somebody was just starting out in business, and then we have a second person who has been in business for a year, 18 months, 2 years. They've had success, 6 figures. Now they want to either double or triple that. And if we have time, we can talk about a third person who has been in business 5 years and wants to go from maybe $1 million a year to $5 million a year. What is like 3 bits of advice you could give them to start with?
Absolutely. So starting with the people who are just starting out, or am I going to try to have advice across all 3 sectors?
Yep, I would say just the people who are either way you can. We got like 9 minutes left, 8 minutes left.
Great. So when you're just starting out, I think what happens is people are pursuing the tools, the trends, and technologies, and they believe that if they just get on Facebook ads, or if they just create a sales funnel, or if they just build a website, they're going to be good. But the truth is that those are all tactics, and the tactics only work if you've got a really solid business foundation of understanding your value and what people are going to buy. So what I recommend, and it's not sexy, but I believe that the same thing that it took to succeed in business 100 years ago is what it takes to succeed today. And all of the tools and tactics and internet marketing strategies can amplify when you've got that solid foundation, but they can't replace the fact of what you essentially do in business is solve a problem for someone and provide value that they're willing to pay for. So really understanding that in such a intimate way, and that involves talking to real people and being able to see the expression on their face. So many people are trying to jump into, the next thing essentially is to start one-on-one, because so many people try to jump to one-to-few or one-to-many too quickly. And if you don't have the experience of talking to a real human being, ideally face-to-face, it's going to be hard for you to scale your marketing over the internet using all these channels like Facebook ads in a way that's going to resonate. So I like to say that before you can make money while you sleep, first you've got to be able to make money while you're awake. And that's a key part of it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so those are 2. One is you've got to start with the foundation before jumping into tools and tactics. The second is really make sure you can convert one person before trying to convert 100 people or 1,000 people at a time. And the third is really to amplify your expression beyond what you think is comfortable, because really the market is getting more and more saturated and the buying options are just expanding. So it's not enough to just figure out what you do and who you are. You've got to figure out how you're different. So differentiation, it's differentiate or die right now. So really understanding that differentiation is super important. So that's what I would say to people who are beginners. And if you'd like me to talk to the people who are more in the 7 and 8 figures right now, who want to double and triple their business, and I do this quite often because I've got a branding agency as well, and we work with a lot of people who are in 7, 8, and 9-figure companies who also want to build that world-class brand and leading web presence too. So what I like to say is that the market has shifted, and we're living in what I call a 3-yes world. So it used to be that the marketing needed to speak to the head and the heart, right? So you create marketing to the first yes, which is the logical yes, the head yes, and then the second yes is the emotional yes, the heart yes. But right now, the third yes is essential, and a lot of people really forget what that is. And that's what I call the visceral yes, or the gut yes. So people have these very finely calibrated, let's call them BS meters, for lack of a better word, where they instantly are looking at your marketing, your messaging, everything that you're saying about yourself as a company, whether what you say are your values actually align with how you're representing yourself and what you're doing every day as a company. So you've got to really check out and pass that gut level yes, that you're the real deal, that you're a company that's got integrity and authenticity that people can trust and believe in. And a lot of people forget that. And a lot of times that gut level yes is actually created through brand symbols such as the tone of your messaging, you know, the colors, the fonts, the look, the feel, the photography you choose. It's a lot of the things that people didn't used to pay as much attention to that are becoming more and more important in the internet age. So that's one of the big things that I say from going to 7 to 8 figures. The other thing, 7 and 8 figures and beyond. The other thing is to create what I call a business that's a 3-legged stool. So if you think about a monopod, it's not super stable. If you think of like a 2-legged, a person, we're more stable, but 3 legs, like a tripod, is even more stable still. So what I like to do is to have people have a series of business models and revenue streams. So instead of just a single revenue stream, that can be somewhat fragile if the market changes or technology changes or whatever it happens to be, to have 3 revenue streams that support each other. So for example, we've got a branding agency where we sell branding and web design. We've got a software company where we sell software that allows people to create their own websites that convert. And we have a business training company that sells training. And all 3 of these different revenue streams support each other, even though they're really 3 separate companies. And when you have those different revenue streams as you're growing to the next level, you can withstand a lot of shifts in the marketplace and really allow yourself to create something that's going to be enduring and stable, and where each different business model and revenue stream can support the other. So that's the second tip there that I think is really important. And the third tip for a bigger company is to really focus on engagement and retention. So you talked about at the beginning of this radio show that you're working on attraction and conversion. All businesses focus on attraction, which is getting more customers. And, good business will also focus on conversion, which is converting more of them to say yes, but not enough businesses really focus on the engagement and the retention after someone has purchased to really make sure that they get the results that you're promising. Because 80% of all revenue and profit in particular is in the back end. So to think of customers not just as single-time purchasers, but lifetime customers, and understanding how do you need to craft a customer experience from the moment someone lands on your website to the moment they say yes to something free, to the moment they say yes to something paid, to the very next offer, and understanding all the touch points to really deeply engage them around your product, get them using your product, get them getting the results that they invested in. And when you do that, they're going to start referring you, and they'll stick with you for a very long time. And I don't think enough people focus on it. They focus on marketing, but the delivery or the support around the delivery gets shortchanged. So that's what I would say for the larger companies.
Wow. That's excellent. And I just want to let the listeners know, in case they weren't able to write all that down, this episode, as well as all other episodes, will be archived on both my website, rcstechnologysolutions.com, and the radio station, 980WCAP.com's website. So you can go back and listen to this, and I'm certainly going to. And I love the 3 yeses, too, how you spoke about the third yes. Can you just say that again? We have like a minute and a half. Just that, unless you have something else you want to...
Yes. Well, sure. Well, one of the things that I would like to talk about is, quickly, and we can talk about the 3 yeses as well, is that I've been creating something called experience products. So I know one of the things that a lot of people end up doing is creating information-based products. But the thing about information-based products, as they start to scale and leverage their time and get more customers, is that it's shown that about 97% of people who buy them get left behind. They don't complete the products and get results. So one of the things that I've been really focusing on innovating is creating experience products, which are all about working with the natural chemistry of motivation that drives people to not only learn, but to take change and action in their life to get results and almost get them hooked on your products and programs. So it's pulling from the worlds of video games and reality TV and entertainment and all these places that are really good at capturing people's attention and bringing that into business, whether it's one-on-one products or services like consulting or coaching, advice, or, agency services, or whether it's a group program or whether it's a product that's going out to a lot of people. There are so many ways to engage people around it that actually get them hooked on your products and, more importantly, hooked on getting results and changing their lives. So I think if people can get hooked on silly games, they can actually get hooked on changing their lives as well, and I've proven it.
Excellent.
Over and over again.
We have less than 1 minute. Can you please give out your website and contact info?
Absolutely. So my website is liveyourmessage.com, liveyourmessage.com. And I also set up a special gift for you at experienceproducts.com/WCAP, experienceproducts.com/WCAP, so you can read more about the experience product phenomenon that I'm talking about and how to really experientiify your products, your services, and deliveries to get more people results so they're hooked on your products and ultimately hooked on buying from you again and again.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much. Listeners, you've been listening to the Internet Marketing and Business Solutions radio show with Ron Couming of both RCS Technology Solutions and RCS Online Solutions, where we help business owners attract, convert, and retain their ideal customers and clients using various internet marketing techniques and methods. Have a great week, guys.